Welcome to the Expansionist. I'm Richard. Thank you for subscribing. Let's talk about Fantastic Factory Subterfuge. What did I think? Well, let's start off by saying if you're doing a review for expansions of a game and you hold up one and say, this is garbage, trash it, and then move on and say, I'm going to do a full review of just this expansion, that sets a certain expectation, a certain I may own this game for 2 or 3 years, but I'm never going to play with this if this expansion is that bad. So let's talk about, is this expansion that bad? So here we have the game set up after a game. In fact, after the last run through I did, I just altered the camera angle slightly, but you can see it's set up the way it's set up. So what's new? So we have the Saboteur. So this is the big new mechanic of the game. This is your place a sabotage token on an opponent. So if I'm this player, place it on an opponent's, factory, and now they can't use that power. Okay, that's okay. Then why did I build that if I can't use it? So that's the big new mechanic of it. To get rid of that, what you do is after everyone has rolled their dice, that would get discarded. You would have to use one of your dice, place it on it, and now that's where your die gets placed this round. And then you place your other dice where they would end up getting placed and so forth. Then everyone is going to go ahead, choose their next card, and then just before rolling the dice, after their cards have been taken, you take off the dice, and now this building is no longer sabotaged. The nice thing about this is a building can be sabotaged, but you still get the prestige points. So it's about, do you want to have a die that you rolled be used to unsabotage it? Is this worth it? Is that so important to what you're doing that it's worth using a die? So that's that. Buildings cannot be sabotaged twice in a row. So like I said, the die is going to be here. You're going to have your next round of choosing cards. So this is already placed here. So if you choose another saboteur, he's going to place it not there, for example. So there you go. That is the big new mechanic. There are cards that are a little more take thatty. So steal a die from a player, roll it as your own for the next work phase. So of course this player has 4 dice. Oh no, now he doesn't for this one round. Steal up to 3 resources total from any number of players. I can take one from you over there off camera, and one from you over there off camera. Or you are a person who has 12 resources now that we've started, so I'm going to take 3 from you and use it for whatever my purpose is. And choose, okay, so there's also choose an opponent, look at their hand, steal a card from their hand. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Oh, now you have 1 fewer cards, of course. This one I don't necessarily care for, but there is only 1 of them, so okay, that's other players must play the next work phase with 1 fewer dice. See, I would prefer the steal a die from a player because they're still the same amount of dice. I'm just at an advantage where you're at a disadvantage. There's also gain 2 goods. Just straight up pay 5 energy plus whatever token that's on there, and gain 2. So cool. There's 7 saboteur cards. There are 9 sabotage tokens, so there's a couple extra that will never be used. Those are the cards in terms of contractor cards. As for the new blueprint cards, I just grabbed 1 of each cards and put them in alphabetical order. So this expansion has a reputation of being take thatty, but there is a bit of balance here. So if you place a die here, you gain a good. Oh, that sounds fantastic. But at the end of the work phase, choose an opponent to gain that same die, basically gain that same die at the beginning of the next work phase. Cool. If you place 2 equal dice, this is a nice build a blueprint from your hand without paying any iron and without discarding an additional card. I think this is fantastic. Cloning Lab. Change the value of an unplaced die to be equal to another die. Not worth points, so it's a matter of, yeah, but I really need to have certain dice. This can be fantastic for that. Gain a good after building a card. Well, that's just always awesome. Just remember you can only use it once per round. So playing this 2 players is what made me go, oh, I really need to tap this. Otherwise, I'm at a cheating advantage. So this is where I go, no, I need to tap because that's just gets me too excited. Fabricator. It costs a little bit much for my tastes, but it is nice. Worth only 1 prestige point, but it is still nice. Here we go. When you are being sabotaged, guard tower must be targeted before other buildings. So a little, I don't want to say nerf, but it is kind of that. It's the you have to sabotage this. When hiring a contractor, you may instead discard a blueprint with any tool symbol. With any tool symbol. Lighthouse cannot be sabotaged. So, okay, that's a nice little handy thing, and cannot be sabotaged, a little interaction with not everything is about having to be sabotaged. Promenade, the scoring is written out a little complicatedly, but it's all right. You get extra points per monument type card you have, the gray border ones. And trade school, change the value of an unplaced die to any value you don't already have. Like, so yeah, there's some take thatty, but there's also some really nice cards. So you know what? I'm gonna go back up top. How inclined would I be to play with this expansion? At the very top, I have Essential. Oh, I can play with anything I want. I'm playing with this expansion for sure. So that's my Essential rating. And then you get expansions that you're good with, right? Yeah, okay. I'm good with this expansion. Let's play it. Yeah, sure. Why not? That's your might as well. You have your essential. Your might as well. After that, I use the phrase "keep it simple." The phrase "keep it simple" is to indicate that I do not dislike this expansion. However, if I was to be given the option to play with just the base game and this expansion without anything else, that would be the more ideal situation. I don't want to play it with a whole bunch of expansions thrown in. Maybe there's some complexity with it. Maybe there's just something that says it's a very specific flavor that I don't want to mix with anything else. Keep it simple. With the base game, with just this, I would be fine with that. So I don't want to have a mega game with this expansion. After that, sometimes you're okay not touching an expansion. Um, Leave it there, right? You're going through the different expansions and say, you know what? If I never play with this again, that'd be fine. Let's leave it there. So, Subterfuge. Is it indeed a bunch of garbagey crap that you should just toss? No, not in my opinion. Is it essential? Also, no, but I did enjoy playing with it. Like, I played 2 players with someone who enjoys some bit of take that, a bit of interaction. I played it 3 players, and we all had fun. So I no, I'm not going to give it an essential, but I will give it a might as well. So Fantastic Factory Subterfuge, might as well. The cards are nice. There is some take that, but there also is a bit of, yeah, don't worry about it for a couple of cards. And if you're throwing it into a mega game, you're not going to see them very much. It's not going to be a big disaster zone unless your shuffling happens to have all the, the cards from this expansion, all of the 18 different contractor cards, which is a small expansion compared to the Manufactions expansion, which I will get to next time. So there we go. So might as well throw it into a mega game, every expansion game of Fantastic Factories, depending on your mood and what kind of time you have and so forth. Thank you very much for joining me as I go through Fantastic Factories Subterfuge. Have fun!